Welcome to Inside Associations, the digital learning shift powered by KITABOO. I'm your host, Tejas, and in this series, we explore how associations are rethinking education, member engagement, and growth in a digital first world. Today, we are diving deep into one of the biggest shifts that is happening right now in every other industry, but also in associations, that is AI. So, we are going to talk about the intersection of AI, learning, and associations. And I'm really excited to be joined by Erica Rench. She is a CMO at Sidecar.ai, someone who's been at the forefront of helping associations understand and actually start applying AI in very meaningful ways. So, Erica, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Tejas, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So, firstly, let's start with your journey here. How did you find your way into this association space, and what drew you specifically towards AI and then learning?
Absolutely. So, going on 9 years ago, I got tapped on the shoulder by Blue Cypress chairman Amit Nagarajan, and he said, I'm doing this really cool thing where we're going to use AI to personalize the email experience because association members always complain we get way too many emails and not all of it's relevant. So, he was seeking to solve that problem. And that was the birth of Rasa.io. And I was with Rasa for about 7 years. And the latter 3 of those years, I led the company and we saw tremendous growth. I mean, we went from a place of in our marketing materials, we didn't really mention AI, that AI was necessarily powering the email platform because associations and really everyone at that point didn't know what to make of it. And then, fast forward to when ChatGPT was launched in November of 22, and being the AI powered email platform for associations was really advantageous. And we always say we were doing AI before it was cool. And then about a year and a half ago, I started at Sidecar, which is the AI education company for associations, because all the while at Rasa, I was doing webinars and informational sessions and panels about how associations can apply AI. And obviously, email was one of those ways, but this was sort of a natural progression. And now I get to spend a lot of my time sharing information about Sidecar, continuing to teach people about how to apply AI at their organizations, training folks. And so it's been a wonderful journey.
Fantastic. That's good to hear, actually. So, what was that got you most excited about this AI space so early on?
I have always been excited about technology since I was very fresh in my career. I started my career in Tulane's admission office, Rollway down here in New Orleans. And we always, in addition to being recruiters for Tulane, we always kind of had like other things that we did because as the recruitment cycle goes and for college admission, undergrad admission, you're not always busy all the time with admission type tests. So I spent a great deal of my time marketing Tulane to hundreds of thousands of prospective families and guidance counselors and students, and I just always loved how the marketing technology of the time that was really coming up, like Salesforce and HubSpot and MailChimp, that allowed me to do my job so much more effectively and efficiently. And so I was always interested in how to make the website better, and so I just always followed my passions. And then I followed that passion to a digital marketing agency, which was the largest in the Gulf South at the time. And we did everything online. So when I first got engaged with Rasa and Blue Cypress, it was a natural progression because I thought, wow, this AI is going to allow me to do a bunch of things that we really couldn't do at scale at the agency. And it was just, following my curiosity, which I think is important for everyone.
Fantastic. So you have had a front row seat basically to how associations are evolving right now, and AI is obviously going to be a huge part about that. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about AI basically. There's a lot of noise out there right now, even with AI, in terms of security of data, digital rights, and their implications. What do you think associations or those non-profit societies who are exploring AI now, what do you think they're getting wrong about AI today?
Well, it's sort of a catch-22, right? So I think on the one hand, a lot of associations are really leaning heavily into Copilot, which I think for many of us who, use these tools on a regular basis, we see Copilot compared to Claude and Claude Cowork and OpenAI's tools. We see it as like a little bit inferior. So we get frustrated because we're like, well, you don't need to work entirely within Copilot, but they
Yeah.
think it's the only secure setting. But really, I think if they invested into some of these other LLMs and, used the most secure settings that they offer, I think there's just so much more opportunity until Copilot catches up. So that's one of the things that we're seeing and we sometimes have to contend with.
Yeah. I mean, that co-pilot thing is definitely, even I've heard about that when we speak about with associations. But oh, I mean, on the other end, now, where are you seeing real practical adoption of AI, which is happening with them, with that space?
Yeah, I think associations, many of them are starting to experiment with chatbots, whether those be sort of like knowledge agents synthesizing all their entire corpus of knowledge that they've published over the years and using that to answer member queries or, kind of fill in the gaps in other ways besides just questions, like helping them with their certifications and helping them know, where they need to find information to better do their jobs. And then also kind of along those lines, but like member service agents, like customer success, essentially. I think we're seeing a lot of our clients and the people we work with are starting to dabble with those and actually gain a ton of value from agents like that.
All right, interesting. So, because a lot of this ties exactly with, how associations are trying to deliver their learning and content and trying to engage with their members. So, I mean, do you think that learning has become like one of the core products for an associations today? In terms of maybe even unlocking their non-dues revenue or trying to increase the membership, learning, has it become the core product?
It has to be a part of what they do at their core, both from an internal and external perspective. So internally, you have to get everyone on the same page with regard to their AI education. If you can't speak the same language, then AI is going to become a people problem because people won't be able to move forward together and understand how to solve problems all together with AI. So that's foundational, right? You have to get your team educated. Ideally, you could do it together and you could be using the same resources at the same time. So that's one thing. That's one huge opportunity for associations. And then the other massive opportunity is them to be the ultimate resource with educating their members on how AI is going to impact their given industry. And we actually help people with that as well. We'll help associations create custom AI education content for their members, which is something that members are going to look to them to understand, right? I mean, everyone is so thirsty for this knowledge, and AI is going to impact every single industry across the board. It doesn't matter who you are. And so associations need to be the leaders in teaching their members about how AI is going to change their lives.
Absolutely. And I'm sure that, at Sidecar, you work with many, modern, I can say more progressive associations who are ready to start, adopting AI in their workflows and actually use AI for the member engagement and stuff. So, what is it that you think that separates those associations that succeed with their learning with AI versus those that are really struggling with it right now?
I think going back to a little bit of what I said earlier is that it has to be a cultural shift. Obviously, AI is a buzzword and it's controversial in many circles and for understandable reasons. And so leadership needs to get out ahead of that and say, hey, I understand these are your concerns. This is how we're addressing those concerns, but this is also the massive opportunity that's in front of us. And so if culture comes from the top down, right? So if your leadership is setting the stage, setting the tone, then that's going to allow for an environment of asking questions, open dialogue. And so then the shift becomes cultural and it makes way for AI powered solutions and AI problem solving and things of that nature.
Absolutely. And in terms of, educating their members, uh, in this AI world right now, even if they are adopting AI in their daily workflows with their members, or try to create some content with AI, how do you think associations should rethink about their education programs now? Uh, with the adoption of AI in it.
Yeah. So we have AI powered content creation at Sidecar because obviously our subject matter is changing so rapidly, right? So we want to be able to quickly change our materials that tens and hundreds of thousands of association professionals are consuming. We want to make sure that we can adapt those as the AI atmosphere changes. So that's something that associations should look to as a model as well, because now you have AI to update your educational materials. Whereas like I've heard from some of our clients that they were quoted like $200,000 to create an educational course, like 1 hour of content or something ridiculous.
Wow.
That's just not a price point anymore. I mean, it doesn't need to be a price point, right? There's so many ways that you can use AI to create content, update content, and just enhance the educational cycle. So it's a new world out there with regard to educational content creation.
Absolutely. And I think with AI apps now, I don't think that they are much on the pricier sides with new models coming up every other month.
Mm-hmm.
I think
It's like a
I
race to the
think
bottom right now with pricing, and we're all
yeah,
benefiting. Yeah.
they're absolutely spoiled for choice right now on whatever model
You're
they
right.
wish to work
Right.
with. Absolutely. And I think all of this ultimately connects to one big challenge that every association is facing right now, and that is member engagement. So it's something that every association
Mhm.
struggles with. Once they get the members, okay, how do we actually get their attention? And how do we keep their attention now? So, who are today's associations, really competing with in terms of trying to take the members' attentions right now, according to you?
Yeah. I mean, this is the information age. Information, educational materials, it's all democratized, right? There are like 300 influencers for every single, like famous influencers for every single topic that there is out there. And so they're competing with people who are giving a lot of this knowledge away for free. And they need to think about how they remain relevant, how they, put a face to their brand name, how they tell the story of why their relevance in people's lives is important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I believe that today in the digital world, uh, a member can easily learn something of a YouTube channel as well, than
Mhm.
actually trying to refer to any CME type content that the association is trying to refer to them. So they can learn something with
Right.
AI as well now, because now AI is actually replacing Google in a way in terms of even
Right.
search queries. So it's a lot of apps that they're competing right now for the members to learn and gain knowledge from. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you on that. Influencers are also a big part of that. But why do you think that is happening? Like, why do you think members right now are disengaging? And what are some of the associations that you have worked with who are getting it right and who are doing something different? To either grow the membership or engage the membership in order to access whatever content that they're providing them.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I have a bit of a biased lens, right? I think about everything from the educational perspective, or think about the other, tools in our family of companies, the AI tools that we've developed. But I think a common thread among associations doing it right are the ones that foster this culture of experimentation. And so we work with an organization, Missouri State Teachers Association, and their executive director, Bruce Moe. He got on the AI education bandwagon super early. Like he knew that it was imperative, and he knew that his people needed to all speak the same language before he made all of these technology changes. So he educated his team. He incentivized them to get educated as well. He said he tied it to their bonuses, and that was a big piece of like saying, "Hey, I'm taking this very seriously." And then once they all had that foundation of education. They spoke the same language. Well, then implementing the tools wasn't such a far stretch. It wasn't like they were going out and procuring all these AI tools and no one even knew what they were capable of, right? They all kind of had an idea of what they were capable of and knew what the potential was before they started implementing the technology. And then going a step further, beyond that, it became about the people on his team just creating solutions themselves. And one of his team members wrote up an app using Claude Code that helps them with, I can't speak to the specific use case, but it's just amazing what's possible when you empower your people with knowledge and also create a culture where building and experimenting is okay. And that becomes a really powerful roadmap for any association.
Absolutely. So just going back to your own words in terms of bringing a change in associations, it's a cultural shift, and in this case, it was one man who started everything, and the entire organization changed and got on the AI side. So yeah, I think AI is one of the really great innovative tools that every association can use right now to start doing things differently for the members. Definitely agree to
Yeah.
that. If we are fast forwarding a little bit right now, since you're in the AI world with education as well, and we are seeing a new LLM come up every month with an update, and it's
Right.
getting more and more accurate than the last one, right? So, in terms of a time leap, I think even 3 to 5 years is a lot. But where do you think associations are going to look like with their AI adoptions and the member engagement workflows in, say, the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh gosh, I don't think. First of all, I don't think any of us know what's going to happen in 3 to 5 years. It's I can make some guesses or educated guesses, I should say. But what I hope is happening is that associations have this treasure trove of data. They have so much data at their fingertips. That is definitely a strategic advantage of theirs. They have so much content, really, really good content, not just slop, right? Really, really journal publications, scholarly articles, all of these amazing pieces of content. Wouldn't it be great if they could easily match each and every one of their members with that content and what they actually need in an automated way in a really one-to-one basis? So we're seeing some of that now. Obviously, there's a lot of content personalization opportunity and stuff already happening, but I think being able to do that without really extensive implementations, that's going to be, I think, a wave of the future, showing relevance in a much faster, effective way. I think that we all talk about agents. I imagine, because I can do so much from my ChatGPT or Claude portal, I think that even it's 90% of work is going to be able to originate from those portals. I just the power of my Claude to HubSpot native MCP integration. I mean, it's unbelievable what I can do just from Claude and the knowledge I can gain. And if browser agents are a little scarier, but all that stuff's going to continue to tighten up and get better and better. So it's never been a better time to be innovative and experimental. But it's also going to be an imperative, to use this word again. You're going to have to start to do those things to keep up with all of those influencers and all those other people who want to put knowledge in front of your members. Easy, cheap, fast. It's a
Yeah,
new world.
absolutely. It's a new world for associations who have a lot of content and who can do a lot of things with AI for the members right now. So they are
Right.
actually sitting on a gold mine of content, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Couldn't agree more. Yes.
absolutely. Now we are here on a very a fun part of the series. I will say that it's a rapid fire round. Uh, you can just say
Great.
the first thing that comes to your mind pretty quickly. I just
All
ask you a
right.
question, and there you go. So, okay, start with one AI tool every association should try today.
Pod cohort.
Fantastic. One thing association should stop doing immediately.
Hesitating. Waiting for their entire corpus of data to be perfect before doing anything, waiting on the next AMS transition. Just start experimenting with things sooner rather than later to understand capabilities. And the best way to understand capabilities is to get your hands dirty and try them.
Okay, fantastic. One learning format that's definitely dying.
Oh, I don't know, whatever those $200,000 a pop courses are. I mean, like, I'd imagine that's like filming someone who might or might know the subject matter well or might not, creating slides that by someone who might or might know the subject matter. I mean, that just seems antiquated.
Okay, I might add one more to that. That would be PDFs. I think that's dying for association.
Oh, yeah. We still have people that email out PDFs as their newsletters, and we're like, no, you need the analytics. You're not going to get the analytics if it's just one PDF.
Absolutely. All right, and the last one. One bold prediction for associations in 2026.
One bold prediction. Oh, well, our goal at Sidecar is to educate 1 million association professionals on AI. And I'm going to say that we're going to make a really big bite out of that in
All
2026.
right. Sounds good. Sounds good. That's what they need. Yeah. Uh, Coming to the last part now, since you have been such a big thought leader, you have been in really big, leadership roles in companies related to associations as well. Uh, we would like to know if you had a chance right now to advise an associations that is just getting started with AI, what's the first step that they should take with AI right now?
First step they should take. Well, based on the association's unique circumstances, I would feed a ton of information into an LLM and say, strategically, based on all of these things that I've told you, I'm giving you the full landscape. What would you do? How would you make the strategic plan for the next year, 3 months, 6 months? Along those lines, a lot of associations do plan out 3 years, 5 years, 10 year strategic plan. I don't think people can do that. I think you need to figure out what's happening in the next month versus
Yeah.
the next few years. So have the AI help you. I mean, it's not just a glorified search engine, right? And it's not just something that can help you write your emails better. It can be your strategic buddy. Have it help you brainstorm on what would be the best strategic move for you.
Fantastic. Erica, this has been a great conversation, incredibly
Thanks,
insightful,
Tejas.
especially around how AI and learning are reshaping associations in real time. I think one big takeaway from this conversation is that this isn't something associations can wait on anymore. If you're watching this or hearing this, it's already happening, right?
Yeah,
So, for
we're in
everyone,
it.
absolutely, we are in it. For everyone tuning in, if you're part of an association and thinking about how to evolve your learning, content, or member experience, this is the time to start. Thanks again, Erica, and we'll definitely be watching the work that you are doing at Sidecar. Uh, and for more conversations like this, stay tuned to Inside Associations, the digital learning shift. Thank you.